Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, is FHN producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with the Great One returns, the 1980 Oilers in the modern day NHL. Jeff, explain what's going on.
Well, we wanted to show off a new feature we're adding with the upcoming updates, which allows you to import historical teams historical teams, modern teams into another era, into your custom games, whatever you want. Instead of having to do them all one player at a time, you can just grab the whole team at once, which is what we've done here. This is the full version of the 2021 season, the 82 game one, as opposed to the shortened version, but we brought in the 81-82 Edmonton Oilers, who aren't doing so great.
No, and they weren't a great team either.
Yeah, I mean, they've won their division this year, but they wound up getting beaten in the first round by the Kings in the playoffs, which let the Canucks eventually go to the finals this year.
With a sub 500 record.
Yeah, we don't need to mention that part.
Absolutely we do.
How many times have the Jets been to the finals again?
17,000.
Okay, but it hasn't gone so well for us this year. We're actually a little under 500, and we had a big problem early on. Glenn Anderson went down with a bad back early November, so we've lost him. Kevin Lowe has been kind of playing at partial strength for quite a while now. Severe calf laceration, which lets him play, but he tends to run down a lot faster. Gretzky, not surprisingly, well, let me show you the team scoring stats. Look how much of this is coming from Gretzky. So this was his 212-point season.
P-Wog's chirping in the chat that I like the Leafs more than the Jets. That has never happened and never will happen.
And
the Leafs could be the last team in the NHL, and I still wouldn't cheer for them.
Looks like Curry is really underproduced this year. I didn't notice that before. We're getting a ton of playing time, but he's not getting that many points. So the bottom line is we are in trouble. 4 points back of a playoff spot, and that's with Arizona having a couple of games in hand. It's going to be a tough push for the last, 21 games to get into the playoffs. So we're going to have to look at what we're going to do here. Adam's response, naturally, is that we should cheat and import another historical player.
Absolutely. Except for, really, this is all after you. That's, perfect.
And, explain your logic for who you want to import.
Well, I said to celebrate the day, and if you're watching this on YouTube at a later time, then today is March 10th, which means it is Mario Day. So I figured we should bring Super Mario to the Edmonton Oilers and help really beef up this team and see how many points they could put up.
I think what I'm going to do first is give it a couple of games and see if we can get a couple of 2-3 wins early. And if we're in good shape, we'll just go it alone. If we're really desperate after about 62 games or so, and then we'll. Well,
Scott Penn's fan showed up in the chat and is like, absolutely do it.
What a shock. Scott Penn's fan 66 wants us to import Mario. I never would have seen that coming. And people saying big ESPN news on the hockey front. Yeah, with the new agreement. I'm kind of glad to see that, because that's presumably going to mean that NHL is still in tight with Disney and BAMTech, the guys that we deal with mostly for our license. So that's good to see some stability there.
Yeah, they're doubling the NBC deal just for that half.
Yep.
I think is what I saw the numbers were. So that's a big, and most importantly, of course, the most important is they're bringing back the ESPN or NHL and ESPN theme.
That's the most important part, huh?
Absolutely it is.
I don't care. As long as we don't get the Fox track puck back. That I can do without. Okay, what was I going to say? Oh, I should mention before we get into this, people wondering what's happening with the next update, because we've been in beta with that, public beta, for a couple of weeks, if you haven't seen it already. And some of you may have it already. This is actually, I'll cheat for a second. Well, not cheat, but just go back to the start screen. And you see I'm on version 129 here. I think the last public one that came out was 124. So what we've been doing is some work on mainly the 2D engine. We wanted to get one more thing in, like get the animations for the shootouts working properly so you can watch all of that instead of just getting the simulated one that you've been getting up till now. So we had a couple of issues getting that to work properly. I think we've got them mostly resolved now. So still hoping to get that out this week. I'll keep you posted in the next day or two as to what's going on there. And I'll probably post something in the forum saying pretty much what I'm saying now after we're done tonight.
Yes. By the way, Jeff, I forgot talking about the ESPN news.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something really funny. They said the last national game ESPN produced was Stanley Cup final of 2004, which, if you remember way back, do you remember who was playing in that?
Last one before the lockout, Pittsburgh and can't
No,
remember.
wrong.
No.
Pittsburgh sucked then.
Oh yeah, that was in that. Yeah, okay, right. That's because the pick they got. That's where they got Crosby.
Yes, it was Calgary versus 2004. Right?
Oh yeah, I remember the Flames getting lucky that year, and I was living
Calgary
in Calgary at the
versus
time.
Tampa. Yeah, Calgary versus Tampa. Yeah,
Tampa's first.
so that was the last game.
Hulk
So they said
Hogan's
there's going to
daughter
be some
singing the
very
national anthem for the Lightning.
confused Americans or very impressed Americans when they turn it back on for the first time in 17 years and still see Daryl Sutter behind the Flames bench.
Sutler?
Sutter, I said.
You said
Sutter.
Sutler.
No, you
But yeah,
misheard.
that's well. I mean, will they be any more confused than the Flames fans? Didn't see
No, I
that
mean
coming.
Flames fans probably expect it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, we got to get this going. So Eddie Meo's really run down for some reason. I'm going to advance it a couple of days. We're not making any trades in this game because that would kind of defeat the purpose of importing the historical team and then trading all the players away. So Hawks up next. Mio is recovering a bit. Everybody else back to 100% mostly. So I'm going to pay a little more attention to what I'm doing with the lines right now than what I've done so far. Charlie Huddy's still really young at this point, and where Lowe is back up as high as his health is going to get at least for how many more? Still 1 to 2 weeks. If that was just a little faster, that would be great. Wow, Stan Weir is not as good as he seems to have declined a little bit this year. Actually, I'm going to have to look at maybe Barry. Can he play center at all? Not very well. I'm going to send Ken Barry down to Nova Scotia. And can we grab, is there anybody worthwhile at center? Not really. Oh, Ray Markham can play the other side too, I think. Bring him up. I think he only had 1 or 2 games, or maybe a handful at most of games with the real Oilers in 81-82, but he actually looks like a slightly better alternative to Weir at this point, even though he's a little tired at the moment. Okay, what does the AI do with this lineup? Lowe, I'd rather not have in the third pair, but he's going to tire out, so I'm going to leave him there. Gretzky, Curry, Messi, and we got all our scoring on the first line, so ratchet up the ice time there. Oh, it's actually using Callaghan in the middle there. Well, they're barely going to play. And well, the no, third line is not looking that spectacular, so cut them down to Third line, they actually traded Podubny away at partway through the season this year in 81-82 and brought Laurie Boschman in, which is kind of would fix the hole we've got at center. But no Boschman to trade for in this game because we're in 2021.
Well, we could import him.
Good, but so we're going to lean a lot on Coffee and Sullivan, basically overload on the first lines. Power play looks about what you'd expect. You know, basically Gretzky everywhere. Oh, wait, how has Gretzky got speedy forward? I want to change that rule.
Are you changing it to Gretzky's office?
That or... I mean, it's Gretzky's 20 at just about everything. I'm going to go with Playmaker instead. May explain why Curry wasn't scoring as much as I expect him to. Okay, we'll give this, I don't know, what, 3-4 games. If it's still looking bad at that point, we will bring in Mario. I mean, look at that. I mean, strength says, according to the, the game, we've got strengths across the board. So we're just generally underperforming. Is there a tactics issue, maybe? Tone down the aggressiveness a bit. Pressure, but still keep it up tempo and offense oriented. See how we do against the Hawks, who aren't doing well at all. And I'm just going to send these. We want to try and get through the rest of the season. This and 5-4 overtime loss. And we did start this with the updated rosters that are in the next update. So see Lankin in goal for Chicago. And just looking at the game ratings, yeah, first line doing pretty good. Third, fourth, yeah, it's all on the. Oh, Curry didn't have a good game.
Funny.
How is Curry set up at the moment?
Our defense is just killing us. Defensive play.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lowe being out isn't helping. Curry, well, no, up and down winger's fine. Gonna override it a little bit here and have Curry focus a little more on offense. And actually, I'm going to try and override for Gretzky too. All out offense. See what that does. And yeah, see how Lowe's down to 49% after that game, and we got Florida the next night, so he's got to come out, and Huddy goes in on the third pair. And Yellow's still only at 56 after that. Okay, Florida. Is this going to be any better? 4-2 loss. No. And, well, Podubny's got second star. That probably means the first line didn't do much anything at all. Yeah, well, Gretzky's got his usual good rating. Oh, Curry did better that game, but still. Wow, Curry blocked 7 shots? That's impressive.
Throwing himself in front of it.
Yeah, that's huge from forward. And the other Oilers making a trade. That's not us. We are the 80s Oilers, as the name says. And I'm trying to go with Fuhr the rest of the way here just to get him hopefully hot at some point. I don't want to be bouncing back and forth. And Now Lowe's almost all the way back up, so he can go in. Okay, if we don't get a win here, we'll go with Mario, and it's against Tampa, so it would be a big win. And it's a 4-0 shutout. So Fuhr comes through big here. And it looks like we outplayed him as well. 34-27 shot advantage, so no Mario quite yet. Oh, now we got Pittsburgh appropriately enough. Everybody's health looking pretty good. And a 7-3 loss to the Penguins. I guess that's a sign, eh? You think so, Adam?
Need to bring in more support? Absolutely.
Okay. What year are we taking Mario from?
What year did he come in the league? I'm trying to think. Was it 84?
83, 84?
I mean, having a young Mario would make sense anyways, so.
Could take junior age Mario from the previous season. He's almost from, it's almost contemporary with these Oilers. Let's take him about, no, might as well take him from one of his better years.
Okay, now see, this isn't me. This is you just going full in then, huh?
It was your idea to start with.
Scott Penn's fans are going to be super happy. Hey, again, it's Mario Day, so.
Okay, what year do you want?
What was the year he had so many points? 88, 89, was it? Doing a quick check. He had 199 points in 88, 89.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that one.
I mean, he had 141 in 85, 86, so it's not like.
And just.
Oh, geez, I forgot. He had 161 in 95, 96.
So
which is crazy. That was in 70 games.
And just to explain what I'm doing here, I've got commissioner mode on, so we imported him. He comes in with the minimum salary, so not that we're playing beyond this season. This was just sort of a what can we do this year?
Well, you talked about playing beyond this season.
I did?
You did.
I'm pretty sure I didn't. If only to say, no, I wasn't going to play beyond this season.
I'm pretty sure you talked about possibly doing more.
Oh, we're too many contracts with him on board. So who do we cut?
There's got to be somebody in the minors. It doesn't matter.
There's a half-star guy that... Peter Driscoll, one of the WHA holdovers. He's gone.
Now you just got to hope Grant Fuhr is doing enough.
Okay, so we go to Anaheim today, and we got to figure out what to do with Mario. Are we going to put him on Gretzky's wing? Like in the whichever Canada Cup that was?
87?
Yeah.
No, it's half the time they were on Howard Chuck's wing. Rotating group. I think you leave him at center, and you just kind of like have him be the 1-2 punch.
Because we could use the secondary scoring, and I've got to get a better role for him than screener.
What's the first line again there? Sorry,
Sorry, going back to it. Just fixing the roll. Gretzky, Messier, Curry.
Yeah, you might want to bump Messier or Curry down one. Just to help.
Put him on the second line, I think, and try Lumley on the first line, because I think he was playing there for at least part of the year in 81, 82.
Just because that splits that up a little bit and gives them a little bit more.
Balances the scoring, gives us sort of something closer to a functional Actually, no, I shouldn't have Podubny dressed there, because he's sort of an offensive guy. Put Markham in. Try that again. And coffee some. Yeah, I think that'll work. Oh, that's surprising. You didn't put Mario on any of the power plays. Can't have that. Actually, I'm going to try Mario on the point on the power plays.
Not a bad idea.
And I'm just going to save this line set. Okay, now watch us lose anyhow. So we got Mario and Gretzky on as 1-2. Oh, I should change the playing times too. Vastly reduce the time for the bottom couple of lines. Okay, let's see what happens in this one. 6-3 win. And Mario had to cut, 2 points. Gretzky's line does a lot better. But is this going to be enough to make the playoffs? What do you think? How great Mio got hurt? Although he's just call up Andy Moog. Mio's just going to be sitting on the bench anyhow. So we've got the standard mid-80s Oilers lineup with Fuhr and Moog in. And Mio actually didn't play for the Oilers in 81-82. He sort of, I think he started the season in the AHL and wound up getting traded to the Rangers in December, and then wound up starting for them for most of the rest of the year. Okay, what's the wild card thing? Well, yeah, we're slipping even farther back, 6 points back. Okay, finally, Kevin Lowe is back to 100%. Well, 70% fitness-wise, but so I'm actually going to have to sit him in the first game that he's theoretically uninjured in, just to get his fitness back up to normal. Rangers up next, and it's another win, 6-2. Mario with 4 assists. Okay, that may have been overkill.
Got to make sure.
And now we can put Lowe in, although he's still a little slightly unhealthy. I'll keep him on the third pair for this game and then bump him up to the next one after that. Arizona next. Can we make it 3 in a row? No, we can't. 3-1 win. Impressive from Arizona. Oh, fantastic. And Risto Siltman bruises his ribs. He's out day to day. So Huddy's probably going to have to come in for him unless he recovers really quickly. I think we're bordering on doomed here. Board conference, Peter Pocklington thinks this is a great success for some reason. Kind of surprising.
Of course, you got Mario on the team now.
Just sort of suddenly materialized. And we come up with an overtime win thanks to Mario over Minnesota. Now Siltman recovering fairly quickly at least. That's good news. How's Anderson doing? Still 1 to 2 months. We're not getting him back this year, I don't think. Unless we go deep into the playoffs. Yeah, Flames Oilers. And a 7-2. Wow, okay. Yeah, Mario making just a little bit of a difference. 5-goal game.
He's balancing us out.
Balancing us out and then some.
Well, he gives us that secondary scoring they were missing.
Siltman almost back. We've got a few days off here. Okay, Arizona coming up next. So one new thing that we've just added, if you haven't seen it yet in the update, you don't have to go to the filters now just to cut your list, cut your roster, whatever screen you're showing down to a specific position. There's a shortcut here, just a drop-down menu. I can show just the forwards, just the goalies, etc. Just kind of nice to have. Speeds it up rather than having to go in here and unclick boxes. And 2-1 win over Arizona in overtime. Put up, yeah, Ranta kept them in that one. There were 54 shots on them. For Messier finally gets the overtime winner. And we are at 500 finally. And he oh, that 3 point from within 3 points of a playoff spot. And is Mio healthy? Oops. Mio is healthy, so he can come back onto the active roster. What? What are you laughing at, Adam?
Just how well and some of the things in the chat. Red Flyer saying Mario and Wayne together. The Oilers are still struggling, but Scott Penn's fan says Mario's only been there a week.
Okay, Mo goes back down, and it looks like Fear's actually developed up to 3.5 stars, so he's clear-cut starter the rest of the way. Against the Devils, and it's a 5-2 win this time. Mario only has 3 points tonight. So what are we, about 5-1 since we imported him?
Sounds about right.
Leafs up next. 2-1 win, a little closer. But we're still putting up 40-plus shots every game.
Excellent.
Followed by Dallas, and I'm actually going to give Mio a start here just to give Fear a quick break. Shouldn't have done that as Dallas wins 6-3.
Well, that's disappointing.
Leafs
Don't play the backup anymore.
Yeah, Leafs again, if you're in for this one for sure. And a 7-4 win. Lumley, who's doing much better on the first line than he was on the second, gets 4 assists. Or no, he's actually on the third line, I think.
He was on the third line.
Yeah. How's Mario done in his first few games with us? 10 games, 19 points. So actually outpacing Gretzky slightly. And despite getting slightly less playing time. Playoff spot is, hey, we're technically in the last playoff spot, although Arizona's got a couple of games in hand. But we still got to nail it down. Oh, I lost to Anaheim. That's not going to help. And we started this without the real injuries, so Kessler's playing for Anaheim. Apparently beat us there. Back to the Flames. Should be a win. 2-1 loss. Ouch. Okay, this is Not going to be
We're
good for our
coming down off
chances.
high.
Still 1 point up on Arizona, but they haven't played since the last time we checked, and we're 3 games more than they did now. Lindy Ruff fired from the Devils. You got any fitness issues here? Nothing too bad. Oh, why is Messier down? Don't think I want to make any changes here. But Fuhr was tired, so I have to put Mio in for this one. Hopefully we just put up a ton of points on Chicago. Malcolm Subban go, well, 2-1. And 40 shots on him, so Subban played pretty well, but we at least squeezed that out. And Mio played reasonably well, I guess. But Fuhr back in. Apparently Podubny, who's been on our bench, got hurt in practice. And a 3-2 win over Dallas, so we're turning it around again. But still 1 point up on Arizona, who's won a couple of games. And we have only 3 games left, so we'd better win these. I think we got a bit of a break now, so Arizona is presumably making up those games, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if we're out of the wild card spot. Ooh, yeah, we are. And Winnipeg has snuck up on us too. They're even with, they're 1 point up on us with an equal number of games. So what do we have left? We got Calgary tonight, the Modern Oilers the next night, both on the road, and then at home against San Jose the next Monday. This is a Tuesday, so not looking great. We got to be careful about this.
Trying to keep it as interesting as you possibly can. Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to really make the ice time kind of ridiculous here and barely use the bottom 2 lines. Oh, I should swap Hicks and Lowe now that Lowe's healthy. Power play's okay. Yeah, I think so. Fuhr down to 1 flame for the heat rating, so it's cooled off, but at least not stone cold. Okay. 4-3 overtime loss to the Flames, so we get a point, but that's not all that helpful. Oh, brilliant. That was a power play goal, too. Coffey took a penalty with 54 seconds left in overtime. And Gretzky did his part, at least 100 game rating.
Well then, that's impressive.
And ironically enough, the more or less the season on the line, we got the real Oilers in. Was that a... Oh, yeah, the scouting report. It's all fictional players. We just did this as a custom game with the NHL, default NHL rosters, so it would play a little faster than normal. This isn't a full-blown standard game. You've only got the NHL and the AHL active here. And as you can see, Gretzky at least what he would do for the modern NHL, good 30 points ahead of everybody else. Huge margin on assists too. Not quite what he did in 81, but a lot better than anybody's doing right now. Do I take anybody out? Oh, geez, what was it? Siltonen's been healthy, and I've had him out. Brilliant.
Well, easy enough to fix.
Yeah, but would have been helpful, 3-4 games ago. Okay, we're on the road with the Oilers, and we're on the road against at Edmonton. This had better be a win. This was a win, 4-2. And Mario leads away with 3 points. Did that help enough? Yes, because we are... Oh, that's not good. Let's hope Arizona goes on a losing streak here, because it's actually a four-way tie for the final for both wild card spots. But we've only got one game left, and everybody else has 2 or 3. So I'm thinking by the time I continue this on to the next week, we may be in big trouble. Okay, here we are. Following Monday against San Jose. Still 4th in the division. And Dallas has clinched one of the wild card spots, it looks like. Arizona still has 2 games left, but are up 2 points on us. Shootout wins. Oh, great. Let's see, if we win this, we'd have 35 regulation and overtime wins, which would tie us with Arizona. I think we might be eliminated here, even if we win this. One way to find out for sure. Maybe it won't even matter. Maybe we'll lose it.
Come on. Are you going to play it out or not?
Gonna leave it. I'm just gonna... If we wind up getting eliminated, I can finish the season up and I can show some of the other stuff from the update off. Actually, let's play it, and I will quick play through to the 3rd period.
So basically, if we lose out, we know it's because you didn't put
Siltman.
Mario on the team soon enough.
Oh, okay. Also screwed up with handling Siltman now. Okay, I'm going to play this down. It's a 3-3 tie. I'm going to do maybe the last 10 minutes of the 3rd period. And we'll start it with San Jose on a power play with 10:01 to go. Let me just make sure my options. I've had them off while I was testing some stuff. View speed is normal. Quick zoom is fast. Going to leave the sound off so we don't deafen anybody. It tends to be a little loud. And started out with a breakaway for them. Not a good thing to see right off. Oh, man. And look who scored, Adam. Your favorite player.
Whose contract apparently is getting terminated soon.
But see how much better we would have done if you hadn't traded him away in the other game? Evander Kane makes it 4-3 for the Sharks.
We made the playoffs in the other game. Let's be clear. Everything we did worked out.
True enough. Who'd we get for Kane when you traded him? Was it mostly picks?
No, we got Dylan in a second, I think.
We've still got a stupid number of picks in that game, don't we? And okay, Brent Burns gets a high-sticking penalty, so we'll at least get a power play here.
No, it's not as many as you think, Jeff. We traded some away too. And traded up around, I think. We have like 12 picks, I think. But considering we have very little prospects, good prospects coming, we're going to need those picks.
And we've done some work on the 2D engine. I don't know if any of it's... there we go. Messier wearing number 87. I didn't redo the numbers before this, so they're a little weird. But ties it up for us.
Excellent.
We've been doing some work on 2D. There's still various other things I want to do. Still For some reason, I was going to point to it with my hand, which you can't see, but the trailing defenseman isn't coming out of the zone fast enough, and still trying to figure out why. But we've had some good feedback from our internal testers and the open beta too on stuff that's going on there. Players on the line changes are still a little slower than I'd like. See, where's the San Jose D just doesn't come out of the zone fast enough. They should be coming up ice. And then the Oilers guys are tending to hang back. Oh, they're going to the bench on a change. That was some of it, but they should have done that earlier. When I was working on this initially, they didn't do the hanging back at the far in their own zone as much, but we were getting a lot of breakaways in the early play testing, so I had to make the defense a little more conservative, and that was one of the things I did, and it's overkill at this point, really. Oh, that was weird, and it resulted in a goal, apparently. Donato camera sort of shifted there. I didn't catch what happened. But with 4:25 left and the season on the line, wait, I better go all out here. Attacking, high tempo, intense pressure for all that it's worth. But I think the state-of-the-art early 1980s defense is kind of letting us down here.
Yep.
Lowe was, is this his rookie year? No, year before. But he's still young at this point. Huddy's very young. Silton and Coffey don't really back check it all. Doug Hicks is okay, but getting a little older. And who's the other? Oh, Fogelin. He's also getting toward, well, he had a few good years left in him at this point, but there's no real dominant defensive defenseman, shutdown guy that we could use. Lowe will be there, and come on, if you're watch the side of your net. 2 minutes left. If we're really lucky, maybe we could get a goal here and get this into overtime, and you can see what the 2D shootouts, which is what we've been working on lately, looks like, but we'll need to score for that to happen. Looks like Coffey's got his right number at least. And good takeaway there. That's Gretzky. And shot stopped. Goalie should be coming out soon. But not if San Jose has the puck. Killing a little time there. And apparently we went offside with 20 seconds left, and I think that's pretty much going to be the end of it unless we get really lucky here. Nope, San Jose's going to run out the clock. Late shot.
Boo.
And late goal, too.
Oh, you threw the game, didn't you?
I did not throw the game. I lost that honestly. So much for the great experiment of bringing the 80s Oilers into the modern NHL. I mean, some of it was bad luck. Some of it we probably could have. Probably should have managed to roster a little better early in the season.
A better year.
Oh, Glenn Anderson's day-to-day now. For all that helps.
This was not the best Oilers team.
Yeah, I could have gone for the mid-80s Oilers when they had a lot more depth. That would have been a little more impressive. But hey, that's something, if you want to see how that works out, something you can do on your own if you've got the open beta already, or once you get this update out. Ideally, I'm really hoping for Friday. If not, unless something goes wrong, we may need to stretched out over the weekend, but I don't think so at this point. That was looking pretty good as
Wait,
of
you
this
mean
build.
you haven't just been sitting around twiddling your thumbs?
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Hmm.
That's what I thought. I thought
Do
that's what development was, Jeff.
oh yeah. Do we get any award nominees? Gretzky for the Lindsay. Messier didn't get nominated for his own award. Not for the Bing, not for the Selke. Obviously not getting Executive of the Year. Gretzky, I guess, counted as a rookie in this game because he's got no history. Oh yeah, it was a custom game with no previous history added. So Matthews and Barkov are the other Calder quote unquote nominees.
Might be the
And
strongest
Gretzky
Calder
nominated
group
for
there's
Thornton too.
been.
So where did we finish? 82 points. Were we even? Well, yeah, just missed a wild card spot. 4 points out. Wouldn't have mattered because Arizona won their last game anyhow and put it out of reach for us. Wow, minus 38 goal differential, and they made it into the playoffs. Better than 4 teams that didn't make it. Quick look at the individual stats. So Gretzky, 135 and 82 points. That seems reasonable for what he would have done in this era. And otherwise fairly similar to what the 81-82 Oilers did, except for Curry being really disappointing for some reason. Don't quite know what went wrong there. I mean, he had a ton of playing time. Was with Gretzky the whole season and just didn't put up the points. The other guys who were there, Coffey did fine, and Lumley, after we switched him back to the first line, started piling up the points too. But yeah, the rest of it is looking fairly early Oilers-like.
A team with a lot of potential.
Yeah, Fuhr, I mean, this was his rookie year, so couldn't really expect that much out of him. Pretty good performance. Wound up playing a lot more than he actually did in 81-82. And Mio is the backup. Pretty similar numbers to Fuhr, actually. Yeah, and Mario, 27 points in 17 games. So over a full season, that is what, ballpark about 150?
Yeah, sounds about right.
And so he would outscore Gretzky theoretically, but he didn't get to play the whole first part of the season. So that would have made a difference. We would have been in the playoffs for sure if I had done that 20 games earlier. But I think even if we had done it at the start of this show, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. So who actually is... might as well watch the playoffs in this one. It's going to go over quick. Oh, great. Glenn Anderson's back soon. Any day now. Almost ready.
Excellent.
There we go. He's healthy now. That's incredibly helpful. So having him would have made a big difference too to our depth. Just sorting by ability, yeah. I think I've got the ratings mostly in the right ballpark. It's always tough to rate the really great teams from history because you tend to overrate a few guys who are performing well and just mainly because of the guys that they were surrounded with. Like Lumley, who I'm pointing to right now, for example. But you may notice that a little bit when you're playing historical. It's not as bad as it was, but teams like the late 70s, mid-late 70s Canadians and early 80s Islanders tend to overperform in the game because it's just tough to balance it perfectly when you're only looking at individual stats. So I had to go back in and tone down some of those guys. For some reason, it doesn't happen as much when we're doing modern ratings. I haven't really figured out why. But let's see, did neither Winnipeg nor Vancouver making the playoffs, by the way, Adam?
Well, you got to be like that, Jeff.
Wait, why did the Canucks miss the... Oh, no, wait, I'm wrong. Vancouver did. Winnipeg didn't. Even better.
Boo.
There we go. Vancouver losing 2-1 to Vegas in the opening round so far. And they lose in 6. So Colorado, St. Louis, and Dallas, Vegas on one side. Caps and Bruins, and Flyers, Sabres on the other. Take a quick look at that development report. You can see how many guys. It's still a very young team. You got some of the WHA holders and the guys they got in the expansion draft slipping out. Pat Hughes shouldn't have gone down hell at this age. And Weir and Unger, I think, are slipping a little too far. I'm going to have to take a look at how I've got them set up so they get an extra year or so. But yeah, most of the team improving. Did anybody ever get up to 2 stars other than Moog on the AHL team? Nope. Just out of curiosity, I wonder how the... Ooh, yeah, look at that AHL record. 23-47-6. So the AHL Oilers from the early 80s did even worse than we did in the regular season, in the AHL, modern AHL.
Because it was a terrible team. And you strip mined all their good players.
Pretty much. Second round not quite over yet. Riviere somehow injured himself. Mild shoulder inflammation, not that it matters. Bruins swept their series and everybody else is tied 2-2. Oh, Vegas and St. Louis on one side. Pretty good matchup. And Bruins and Sabres. Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually. I think Taylor Hall may still be a little overrated in the database. But the Bruins sweep them in the Eastern Final. Bruins and Blues for the Cup, and I don't think the Bruins were doing particularly well this year. Yeah, they had the last wild card spot. So this should theoretically be fairly easy for the Blues. Will it happen? Tie 2-2 after 4, and that's the end of it, and St. Louis wins. So the Blues win in 6 over the Bruins, even with the early 80s Oilers in the league, which fairly impressive for them. Let's see, anything else we can look at here? We'll take a look at the advanced stats just out of curiosity. Actually, how much fighting did we do? Almost none. I think I don't know. Yeah, we weren't aggressive at all. That's a little surprising. Some of these Semenko didn't do that much. I wonder how I had the rolls set on those guys. Hunter, aggressive forechecker. Semenko on the agitator. Probably should have had him as goon. Yeah, surprisingly we didn't get penalized more. Okay, back to the advanced stats. PDO. Gretzky's 99, appropriately enough. So our luck doesn't look like it was really out of balance one way or the other for most guys. Yeah, other than Anderson, who only played 18 games, the highest PDO is 101, and the regulars, Callaghan's a 96, Yesemenko's a 96, pretty much right down the middle. If you're a lot above 100, it tends to indicate that you've been luckier than average. A lot below means you've been somewhat less lucky than you might have been, but nothing that really stands out here. Corsi and Fenwick. Gretzky, not surprisingly, the best one other than Anderson in his short season. Messier and Lemieux, 1, 2, 2, and 3. Oh, so Curry did do okay there. Yeah, the problems were at the other end. Podubny, Weir, Semenko just had nothing on the bottom two lines. And Fenwick probably looks pretty much the same. Basically, yeah.
I mean, in fairness, the early 80s, you'd be playing basically three lines with one guy occasionally
three
getting
lines
rotated.
and double shifting Gretzky, I think is how they did it a lot of the time. Goals for per 60 minutes on. Mario nearly 5 goals. We're getting nearly 5 goals per 60 minutes when Mario was on the ice. Gretzky only 3.58. That's kind of a surprise. Patty Hughes is ahead of him somehow. Although Hughes probably didn't get much playing time. And Semenko Ralston down near the bottom end. Goals against per 60. Do it from the other end. And Gretzky's only 2.36, so he didn't score as often as Lemieux, but we were a little better defensively when he was on. And shots per 60. Yeah, Mario's on the ice. For every 60 minutes that Mario's on the ice, we had 51 shots. Crazy.
Not bad.
And only 20 against. Gretzky, a lot narrower, only 18. Plus 18 difference there. Between shots for and shots against per 60. Let's see, anything else interesting to look at? Take a look at the positional rankings. Yeah, Gretzky, Lemieux finished 1-2 overall. And 1-2 at center as well. I had a McDavid. Any other 80s Oilers? Messier is 5th at left wing. He's still pretty young at this point, bearing in mind he's only 20. And Curry, despite the disappointing season, is still top 10 right winger. And Coffey should be somewhere. Oh, Coffey surprisingly doesn't make the top 10 for defense, but Kevin Lowe does. And Fuhr is not in the top 10 goalies yet. Still, he's only 18 or 19 right now. Power rounds, regular season only, top game performances. And we got a few 100 games from Gretzky. No really huge ones, looks like. Best of them is actually only a 2-point night. Worst performances, did we get anything in there? Doesn't look, oh no, there we go. Kevin Lowe apparently had a bad game. I wonder if he was playing hurt. I'm guessing that was one of the ones where I missed it. Wasn't watching his fitness and he slipped down to 20% or something like that.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, that is our hour.
Okay, and yeah, just winding it up. And Fuhr apparently had the best goalie game of the season, 50 shots against Colorado. But yeah, I guess that's we're out of time. So much for this experiment. I'm going to have to come up with a new idea for the next one. In a couple of weeks, we'll be back with Adams. But for the rest of this week, I'm going to get back to, after we're done with this, I'm going to get back to testing the current build. There's a few things I want to check, but I think we're mostly got everything in place. Just want to make sure the scoring rate on the shootouts is where it should be right now. But I'm thinking we got that all working at this point. It was looking pretty good last night. I just haven't checked the newest build from this afternoon. Well, I'm actually playing it right now, but I haven't looked at the specific things I need to look at. But hopefully, if that's okay, there was one thing that Sebastian was having to look for yesterday, and I'm not sure if he found it. So we may need an extra day just to deal with one potential lockup problem we ran into. And other than that, if everything goes well, I think we will probably have this out hopefully Friday, if not early next week, but I'm really hoping we can do it this week. So you want to wind up there, Adam?
Sure. Thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey, where you can also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. Of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums. And come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager 7, Out of the Park Baseball 22, Out of the Park Go, or just about anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
Don't think so. Pretty much covered it all, I think. Yeah, so we'll be back next week with Adam's San Jose Sharks game, which is going significantly better than this one did. And at least we made the playoffs in that. And we're starting with the playoffs in that?
No, we're done. We'll be
right. Yeah,
doing draft and free agency.
Yeah, that's right.
And expansion draft.
We made a pretty good first round effort.
Yes, so we
didn't
got
embarrass ourselves. Who did we had? Did we go 6 games or was it 7? It was 7.
I think it was 7, but it's been a while. I've simmed it up to the end of June, so we'll be moving on to July 1st before I send it to you.
All the fun off-season stuff, draft and free agency and all of that. So
expansion draft.
Oh yeah, expansion draft. We got the Seattle Kraken coming in this year in the other game.
Exactly.
Okay. So we will be back with that next week. The week after, I will have something new for the other week games. Haven't really decided on what that's going to be yet, but see if I can come up with something interesting for you. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you next week.